Evolution of caste system in Hinduism. Social stratification refers to a society's categorization of its people into groups based on socio-economic factors like wealth, income, education, ethnicity, gender, occupation, social status, or derived social and political power. Social stratification is a trait of a society. It induces people to pursue careers that are important to society. During medieval period, Europe classified people into three groups: those who fought, nobles and knights; those who prayed, men and women of the church; and those who worked, that is, peasants and serfs. Social class was usually inherited. In medieval Europe, the vast majority of people were peasants, serfs. The Industrial Revolution has resulted in movement of people from existing trade to the new economic opportunities. This has changed the class stratification. The class structure, as described, also known as feudal system, declined as agriculture, trade, towns and universities developed. This was in part due to the growing population and to territorial expansion of Western Europe. Cultural interaction with the Muslim and Byzantine world sparked the growth of learning and the birth of an institution new to Europe, the university. The Industrial Revolution gave a thrust to urbanization, created demand for new trades, skills, and accelerated occupational mobility with consequent income redistribution and wealth creation. New socio-economic structures emerged. In ancient and medieval China, there were 5 social classes, including nobles and gentry, that is, government officials, farmers or peasants, artisans or craftsmen, merchants, followed by those possessing no particular skill or education, vagabonds, slaves. The 5 social classes were based on the teachings of Confucius and allowed people to live in harmony and balance. But with the decline of Qing dynasty, entry of the Western power into China, subsequent spread of communist ideology movement under Mao Zedong, followed by the social liberalization under Deng Xiaoping, the old class structure underwent a massive change, leading to what we see the modern China today. In India, the social classification came to be known as the caste system. The caste system was a broad division of labor into 4 categories. During the early Rigvedic period, same family had members engaged in different vocations. Those who chose to pursue Vedic education were called Brahmins. Those who opted to be good at martial art were called Kshatriyas. Intelligent persons who pursued business were called Vaishyas. Craftsmen and skilled artisans were called Shudras and were engaged in jobs of their liking and specialization. With passing of the time, economic categorization of profession transformed into 4 major classes of society or caste: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. This left those who were not educated with no particular skill and had to fend for themselves and constituted the bottom of the social layer. Today they are known as Dalits. The caste system was a social order where skill and knowledge were passed on from parents to child. There was no technical training or schools in those days. There was no paper or written books. There was no way to acquire skill and knowledge. Training in skill and knowledge passed from generation to generation. Intercaste transfer amongst enterprising persons were, however, prevalent and normal among Hindus in ancient India. In course of time, however, compartmentalization of the caste system became more rigid with the connivance of the wily politicians who exploited the masses. The scripture of Gita is against caste system and very clearly said that caste is a job division according to professional qualities and is the division of labor established by people like us. Ishvara, that is religion, is not involved in this. Following two slokas of Gita are interesting.
Brahmano Kshatriya Vishang Shudranang cha Parantapa Karmani Pravibhoktani Shabhava Prabha Vairgunoi.
Designation of the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas as well as of the Shudras is to be divided according to manifestation of their professional qualities.
Chaturvarnang maya srishtang guna karma vibhagasya tasya kartaramopi mang vidhatta kartaram vayam.
This means the four orders of the society are dominant according to the predominant qualities and involvement in corresponding duties, and created through human like us, immortal Lord is not involved. It is said, Ishvara ordained that anyone who will denounce casteism and will work for unifying the Hindus will get eternal heaven and will also help his forefathers to reach their heavenly abode. In Bano Parva of Mahabharata, that is even during the days of Pandavas' banishment in the forest, the four Pandava brothers were made unconscious by Jaksha. The four brothers drank water without permission from Jaksha's water body. When Yudhishthira, the eldest brother of Pandava, arrived in search of his four lost brothers, Jaksha said he would give antidote to the four brothers if Yudhishthira gave correct answers to his 12 questions. Jaksha's 9th question to Yudhishthira was,
Rajan kulena brittena shraddhayana sutena va brahmanam kena bhavati prabhujye tat sunishchitam.
This means, what makes one a Brahmin? Birth, character, study or wisdom? Yudhishthira replied,
Sinujakha kulang tat na shraddhaya na cha shrutam karanang hi dijang te cha brittameva na samshaya.
This means neither birth, nor study, nor wisdom. It is character alone that makes one a Brahmin. This proves during Vedic period the concept of untouchability with respect to the Sudras or anyone else who was a Dalit, untouchable, did not exist. Any condemnation of person was due to mainly his or her engaging in an activity not useful or acceptable to the society. It was, however, prevalent that any type of socially unacceptable or condemnable behavior could be mitigated through penance and by changing one's behavior. Before invasion by the foreign rulers, Hindu society remained flexible and allowed people the freedom of choice in their undertaking. For example, Satyakama was a Rudra by birth, but became the most respected Brahmin by learning the Vedas. During the Vedic period, anyone could become a priest. The question of reservation of position for the Brahmin did not arise. Veda sloka says,
Povitratma Sangjatendriya Peshalang Madhu Jivhava Cha Tangurung Shraddhaya Srinu Upahara Cha Prayachyutu.
marriage among people from vastly different backgrounds were allowed and also took place quite often. For example, in Mahabharata, we see Satyavati, daughter of a Shudra fisherman, and Shantanu, the Kshatriya king, marrying and society imposing no restrictions. The Samveda sloka says that Ishvara do not appreciate exploitation but desires his followers to treat everybody equal and nurse the afflicted one.
Jo dadati vibhukki tebhya piritanang sahayaka dukkhartanang samoslishyoti tameva isha prasadati.
This means Ishvara is glad when you give joy to a human being, when you feed the hungry, when you help the afflicted and lessen the sorrow of the sorrowful and remedy to the wrong done to the injured. To prove that caste system was a political and economic exploitation and not a religious matter, a look at Bengal, India is revealing. In 1200 AD, there was a powerful king in Bengal, India. His name was King Ballal Sen. During his rule, Nath Brahmin, also known as Rudraja Brahmin, were considered to be highly respected Brahmin caste and were acting as royal priests. Pitambar Nath was the royal priest of King Ballal Sen. When the father of the king died, the king wanted his guru Pitambar Nath to take the Pindadan, that is, item given during the funeral of a person, as a royal gift. Pitambar Nath refused to accept any gift connected with the funeral from the king. The king took this refusal as an insult and out of his egoistic rage took away the sacred thread of Sri Pitambar Nath. Sacred thread was the sign of the Brahmin caste. He issued a royal decree that all persons henceforward known as Rudraja or Nath Brahmin, that is high caste, will be treated as Shudra, that is low caste. Since then, persons of the Nath or Rudraja clan were treated as Shudras in Bengal, but outside Bengal, the same Naths are highly respected Brahmin priests. This example shows that caste system is not a matter of Hindu religion, but a political exploitation of Hindu society by wily politicians. It is said in the Puranas, that is old scripture, that Nath Brahmin, Rudraja Brahmins are descendant of Lord Shiva, also known as Lord Rudra. In Nepal, the last Hindu country, the royal priest is a Nath Brahmin. In Kolkata, India, the first priest of the famous Kali temple was Sri Chaurangi Nath. Kolkata's main road was named in his memory and is known as Chaurangi Road. Few famous naths were Somnath, Gorakhnath, etc., in whose memory the great Somnath temple of Gujarat, Gorakhnath temple of Uttar Pradesh were built. These facts prove again that caste system has nothing to do with Hindu religion. After centuries of foreign rule, India became free in 1947. Eradication of caste system was one of the priorities of the government, and it has passed a slew of laws over time to break down this immoral classification. India has adopted reservation of jobs for Dalits and backward classes and quotas of seats in educational institute for those who have suffered for generations due to caste consideration. These steps are expected to give an impetus to occupational mobility, reduce socio-economic inequality, and help to demolish the caste barrier. Practice of caste system is punishable by law in India. Modern educated Hindus are not in favor of caste system and denounce it strongly. Nowadays, many educated Hindus prefer to write caste neutral names, for example, Ashok Kumar, etc. for males and Miss Meena Kumari for female, etc.